The New York Yankees made a sneaky signing in international prospect Stiven Romans, who now joins the team, and this is going to have big implications on their hopes at Roki Sasaki, the international pitching star of the offseason, and this is going to affect how the Yankees go about the rest of their free agency. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as usual. So if you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe. It helps us out a ton at Yankees Digest. You guys have been doing awesome with the subscriptions. 16% of people are subscribed. Let's get those numbers up, and let's keep these great views going. But, guys, let's get down to business. Let's get down to some baseball. The New York Yankees signed Dominican shortstop Stiven Romans, who officially joined the team, and gets a bonus deal of around $1.5 million. And as mentioned here, the Yankees they used the remaining of their 2023-2024 international budget from the current period, in part saved for Roki Sasaki, plus bonus earned in the Carlos Narvaez trade. Now, we'll talk about the Narvaez trade as time goes on here, but obviously this is going to have a big implication on Roki Sasaki, the international Japanese prospect who's just been absolutely phenomenal, as I get bigger on your screen, because, well, we got some important stuff to talk about, and that's just how it's got to go, guys. But look, the New York Yankees signing a shortstop who could have a massive impact on their team many, many years down the line. Romans is just 17 years old, and he's shown a lot of promise. He's someone who the Yankees do look at as a potential star. Now, he wasn't in the top 10 of international rankings, but he probably should have been. He's a very, very talented player, and we're going to see him with the Yankees farm system for many, many years before he ever gets a chance to come up to the big leagues. But if you play MLB The Show, you'll be able to go to AA and probably use Stiven. But look, Stiven's going to be someone who has a potential impact on the team, and the only impact he does have right now is more about Roki Sasaki than about himself. Now, that's just the way things go sometimes when you're an international prospect. Stiven just signed. Obviously, we know how baseball works. You're in the minors for a long time. Meanwhile, Sasaki, who also is an international prospect, but it's different as he was playing professionally in Japan, is already decided that he will be heading out and going to the MLB. As we all know by now, we know this about Sasaki. Basically, every team is interested in him. He's an absolute phenom. Many people see him as a future Cy Young. He's just disgustingly good, and he's only 23 years old. All 30 MLB teams are interested in acquiring Roki Sasaki. Not shocking news still. Now, here's the deal. It's very hard to predict where Sasaki's going to go. Now, the obvious answer is the Dodgers because, well, Yamamoto went there. Shohei went there. He has interest in going there. But there are some rumors that he might not be too interested in going back to the Pacific market, as he's already been in it sort of with Japan. I almost said with Japan, which is not the way you pronounce Japan. And then the other team that's up there is San Diego Padres, given you're still in the Pacific market. But there is a world that he'll want to go there, considering it's way closer to home than going east. Though every team in the East, including the New York Yankees, have had interest in landing Roki Sasaki. Now, as Francis Romero mentioned, Dominican shortstop Stiven Romans will be signing today with the New York Yankees. This was a few days ago. The estimated bonus will be around $1.5 million. The Yankees will use the $1.5 million, $1.4 million from the current period in part save for Sasaki, plus bonus pool earned in the Carlos Narvaez trade, which obviously has a massive impact. And Brian Cashman has said that they're completely in on the Roki Sasaki talk, saying a big arm with a big desire to be great. His intent is to be one of the game's greatest pitchers on the planet. We certainly would love to participate in allowing that to happen. So Sasaki is someone on Brian Cashman's radar, and the Yankees are going to push for him, even though they signed Max Fried, even though they've gotten a lot of defense so far between Max Fried and Devin Williams. They are still looking for some more pitching to make an elite pitching unit, considering the hitting's just not going to be the same last year without Juan Soto, but they are still looking at other guys who will help the offense, such as Alex Bregman, who likely sounds like he's going to be a Yankee now, weirdly enough, and Cody Bellinger, obviously. If you guys haven't seen Kirk's video on Cody Bellinger, make sure to check that out. It's the most viewed video in Yankees Digest history right now, so shout out Kirk Day. Dude's the man. He just the GOAT, man. What else could you say? But every team is interested in Roki Sasaki. If you look up Roki Sasaki odds, which comes out the latest on Japanese phenom Roki Sasaki, what we know, could the Brewers be a surprise suitor for Sasaki? Sasaki to play for the Reds? The Reds said they're going to try their best. The Detroit Tigers have interest in Roki Sasaki. But do they have a realistic shot? Look, it's like you asked AI to name 3 random MLB teams. The Brewers, the Tigers, the Reds. If they're in on him, every team is going to be in on Roki Sasaki, as they should, because Sasaki's going to have a massive impact, especially only being 23 years old. That's insane. He's going to get 2 big contracts as an MLB player, so good for Roki. He knows what he's doing. But right now, where the odds stand for the next team for Sasaki, the Los Angeles Dodgers are the favorite by a tiny bit, with a 25% chance of them going there at plus 300 odds. Right behind them is the San Diego Padres. Now, I'm just saying, as someone who does like to gamble, I like the Padres odds right here. I'm just going to say it. If you can gamble on where Roki Sasaki's going to play, and you ask me, I would say bet on the Padres, because they're not the favorite, but they probably should be, because I do think he's going to go to the Padres. I think he'll also leave the Padres after his contract is up, but I think he will go to the Padres, because I think they're willing to offer him an insane amount of money. But also, New York Yankees are third, and this is Yankees Digest. So to talk about the Yankees, they do have a great shot at landing Roki Sasaki, which is going to be huge. I mean, if you can get him, you could trade Clark Schmidt, who's very valuable after having an under 3 ERA last year. Very, very helpful for the team. You then can trade him, because then you got Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, Luis Gil, Roki Sasaki. That's a flat-out disturbingly good pitching rotation. If Sasaki's as good as advertised, which he's going to be, that is a disgusting pitching rotation. And then you get to trade Clark Schmidt for value, like the Nets. Why the Nets? It's not, whatever. Look, the Yankees just traded Nestor Cortez. That's why I said the Nets, because Nestor, that part of it was coming out. But the Yankees traded Nestor Cortez for Devin Williams. They also traded away prospect, but they traded away Nestor Cortez, and they got insane value back, getting one of the best relief pitchers in baseball on the Yankees. Now, the Yankees can do that again with Clark Schmidt, but Clark Schmidt's way more valuable than Nestor Cortez, so the Yankees can get someone better. The Yankees should look into doing this, because if they can get Sasaki, it gives them room to trade Clark Schmidt, who's going to be a free agent soon. The Yankees might not decide to re-sign him, so trading away Clark Schmidt now is probably the move. That would probably be a move for a bat, which the Yankees could really, really use right now. I'd love if they could get some sort of power hitter. I'd prefer him to be a lefty. The Yankees they desperately need some contact batting at the top of the order, but they could also use another power bat. I'd really like to see both of those happen for the New York Yankees. So signing Sasaki would just lead to so many other great things for this team that, I just really want to sign. And as mentioned, the Carlos Narvaez trade. The Yankees announced that they have acquired minor league right-hander Elmer Rodriguez Cruz, an international signing bonus pool money from the Boston Red Sox for Carlos Narvaez. So now the Yankees still have money. After giving their money away to Stiven Romans, they now have money again because the Red Sox gave him some in exchange for Carlos Narvaez. So, good deal by the Yankees to get more money. They could still sign Roki. Now, do they have the most money to sign Roki? No. The teams with the most money are the Cincinnati Reds, the Detroit Tigers, the Miami Marlins, the Milwaukee Brewers, the Minnesota Twins, the Oakland Athletics, the Seattle Mariners, and the Tampa Bay Rays. The team, to me, that stands out the most is the Mariners, the Mariners are not a bad team. And they're still on the West Coast, which I'd still imagine Sasaki's going to go to, even if it seems like he's tired of the West Coast market a little bit. I don't see the Rays getting him just because I don't see the Twins getting him. They might, though, because they're a solid team, obviously. The Brewers desperately need pitching and will obviously give all that money to Sasaki, so maybe they're an actual suitor. The Marlins are terrible. Sasaki is too smart to want to go to a terrible team. The Cincinnati Reds, I mean, they could get better as time goes on. They're obviously young. They got some exciting players. Feels unlikely that Sasaki's going to be like, yeah, moving to America to go play in the MLB, and I'm moving to Cincinnati, Ohio. No, he's not going to do that. He's going to move somewhere cool. He's not going to go to Cincinnati. He's not going to go to Detroit. He's not going to go to Milwaukee. Probably not going to go to the Twin Cities or Oakland or Tampa. He's going to go to a big market. He's going to go to a big enough market, a big enough city, I should say. Whether it's the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, the Padres, teams that have cool markets. That's where I would imagine Sasaki's going to lean to. With someone being not from America, usually they tend to do that instead of going to, the middle of nowhere. Because America's a lot of middle of nowhere, and people don't really realize that a lot unless you live in this country. And if you guys live in this country, make sure to subscribe to Yankees Digest, because it is what's more important than literally anything else in America right now is this YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe if you guys like the content, and if you don't, well, subscribe anyway. And if you just can't stand looking at this face, then I understand, and you can go on your way. But guys, have a great day, and go Yankees.